I was laughing with Kevin. I forget if it was in the hospital or home, I don't know. I passed a mirror and I saw this old guy on a walker, gray hair, drool, hair all ace deuce. I thought, I've seen this guy before in nursing homes and stuff, you know. But hey, it's okay. Things are getting better. I think there's a greater point about this whole thing. The point is that when you come to who you are, nothing can change you. There are things that are difficult, still has nothing to do with you. And I guess major problem right now is my body learning to be what it once was. There is nothing there. People say, are you in pain? No. It just won't do. The only thing that I experience in that is heavy. You'll just go to a point and that's that. But that's the body. That's not me. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. It doesn't matter. So the point to those around me and those who look and those who listen is, come to yourself. It's about yourself. It's not about anything else. It's not about anything else. I think I told you of the experience where I fell. I mean, I fell, man, because there was just nothing to catch me. There was no, put the little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms out. You see how Tyrannosaurus Rex has those little, put them out there. What caught me was my face. Bam! It's like, shit. Here I am. I can't breathe. I can't push myself up. We seem to have a problem here. How are we going to solve this problem? How am I going to solve this problem? Not, oh God, I'm going to die. No. How am I going to figure this out? Well, this thing is choking me. My face is just the floor. I can imagine that in a black comedy. Your life passes before your eyes. However, mine has already passed before my eyes many years ago, so it was nothing new to say. So what I did was I finally figured out how to slide my arm underneath me and get a roll so I could get in position to get against something, and eventually slide my back up so I'm sitting straight. Now, the particulars are not important. What is important is, what is the problem, and solve the problem. Which is why, over the years, we've talked about, made statements to all who would listen what the problem is. The problem is your opinion. We all want to be right because we all think that the world is against us, and we learn that as little children. Everything is against us. We learn this. Whether it's just true or not, I don't know that everything is against us. Truth just is true. And if you want it to be another way, it seems that it is against you. It's not against you, it's just true. Electricity is not against you, but if you grab hold of live wires, something's going to happen to you. It's not against you. But in the mind of a child, the world becomes against us. The world is saying there's something wrong with us. This is the beginning of the experience of being in corporal form and being a person. Experience counts. A child does not have experience. So it assumes whatever it assumes from its base. Then we grow into our teenage years and something else happens. Hormonal balances change. Again, this is not our experience. We don't feel very good. We're irritable. We don't know why. The frontal part of our brain has not yet developed and will not develop until we are around 25 years old. That is that part that truly makes the decisions. And some of us, I don't know, it never does. We don't allow it. So we stumble around there. We have relationships. We have teenage love relationships, teenage friend relationships. But what we don't understand about these things is that they are just trials. You're just trying out life. You're trying out learning what it means to be a friend, learning what it means to be a person. We assume that these things are to be forever because we haven't learned about change. All we've known is whatever our situation is. And any change in that throws us for a loop. If you take the gangbanger who has known nothing but his neighborhood, he's lost. He doesn't want to see change. If you take the redneck who's known nothing but Redneckville, doesn't want to change. It doesn't necessarily have to do with that thing that they rail against. It has to do with not wanting to change. I want it as it always has been. This is the struggle between adulthood and childhood. Well, life seems to take that away from us, and we struggle against it. The best thing that it does that life does is change. You see everything around you changes. Someone said to me, they saw me kind of walking, said, you know, I want you to know you're my hero. In the likeness of Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse was my hero too. Well, the point, you've seen me through many phases of life. Some of you have seen me as a pretty young guy. Matter of fact, I keep meaning to bring, there's this picture I got of you. I gotta bring this to you. You're so young and sweet-faced.
Daryl posted a picture of you
Of me?
on YMCA high school alumni web page. When you were like maybe when you were fighting.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you looked like
A young kid.
man.
Yeah, well, I was. And you've seen me change. Some of you have seen me when I was pressing 400 pounds. I now do arm curls with a walking stick because I can't do any more weight than that. And that's 2 arms. Change. Change in the body. Change happens. And we must be willing to accept it if we are to rise to ourselves. If we are to rise to that. Change happens even inside. Even at this point, I learned something real. I knew that people had the right to decide to die. I knew that for whatever reasons they might make that decision. But during this, I understood why they would. Not why I would, because bump that. No. But I understood. You come from a place where you do things without thinking, with ease. You feed yourself. You cut your food. And suddenly, you can't cut your food. Suddenly, you can't put your socks on. You have to have apparatuses to dress yourself. So you started looking like, was that Mr. Gadget? Inspector Gadget. You got all these things. Not to mention, in the early stages, the pain. And I keep describing it as red-hot broken glass ground into fine pieces all over your body, and there's just no relief. I understand how a person would say, I'd rather die. I understand. That's not what I said. Because I also understand. A thought is like a cloud passing through the sky. It's only a thought. It's only a cloud. And it passes. So, the reality of change from the idea of understanding why someone would want to die to having the experience of why someone might want to die. So even in spirit, there is change. Change is constant. What do we want to do? We want freedom or slavery. That's an individual choice. What we offer here is the idea of freedom. Freedom means you have a choice. It's not mine to tell you what to choose, or to tell anyone what to choose. It's only mine to help you understand how to arrive at freedom. That's it. No more, no less. So in the overall picture, you look at this and see your process in seeing this. That's what it's for you. There are choices greater than the ones that you imagine at this point in time. We want, and we've been taught for some reason in some way, we want to make God grandiose. It is the simplest of things. We want to make it out of reach for ourselves. It is not. It is the simplicity of life. We come to this process and we say, I want to learn something, when the truth is we have to unlearn. That is why I talked about the child and the growth and the movement from one stage to another, because it is what you thought you learned as a child, with all the inexperience, with all the not knowing, with all the insecurity that we assumed, and then took on a personality surrounding these assumptions and misunderstood the whole thing. God is the simplest thing, not the complex. When we start getting into complexity, we get into our mind. I am what I am. I just what I am. Now, don't misunderstand that. We'll say, well, I am what I am, and we're talking about this nonsense in here, this craziness, this foolishness, these opinions. That's not what I'm talking about. Think. You were before you had linear thought. You were before you had opinions as to who you were. You were. I'm talking about that you. We have to come to that. It is the simplest of things. That is why in some of the Eastern religions, the term is simply surrender. Just stop. Just stop all that. Stop trying to be important. You are important because you are here. That's all you need. That's all you need. I am. So I don't have to think about why I'm important. Why I'm important means I have to sit down and make up a bunch of crap. No, I am. That's good enough. Now let me go on doing what I do, being what I am. Let me go on with that. Let me focus on what is it I'm doing in this moment. Let me do the best I can with what I'm doing at this moment, not because I'm trying to do the best I can, but because I'm simply solving the problem that is put in front of me. And if I solve the problem that is in front of me, I would have done the best I can. If I'm solving the problem in front of me. When my face hit that floor, it was, how am I going to get up from here? All of a sudden, the realization, there is nothing. You know how you used to just push. There is nothing. Wow. So you try to turn your head, and there is nothing. Well, damn. I've got a problem here. How am I going to do this? So the issue is solving the problem, not getting into some weirdness. And if you do that, you would have solved the problem, and this feeling of satisfaction will be present. This feeling of satisfaction will be present. Not because I'm trying to do the best I can, but I'm doing the best I can because I am focused here and now. Same for our process. If I am focused in solving the problem, I'm going to live by the rules of solving the problem. What I give you every time that we talk is a rule for solving the problem. And what we have to do is choose to live by that rule. That's why I don't have time for arguments and debates. If you want to argue with me, you got to go. You want to debate with me, you got to go. Because it's not about that. You're bringing some craziness into the act when all you're being told is, here is the rule for succeeding. That's all. Succeeding in the process. So if you focus in that, and every time this frustration comes up in you, just do the technique and do it properly. You will learn and you will grow. Key is every time. That is trying to solve the problem. I've said to you, it's not what something, the particular that is the issue. It is not what you particularly think about that is the problem that you have to overcome. It's that you think. You have to understand that mechanism, not what you're thinking about, because that's still just skating on the surface. In terms of who you are and getting to that core of who you are, it's getting past the thought mechanism. You see, it's very simple. But if I choose to make it complicated, I'm going to make it complicated. And why am I making it complicated? Because I want to go around the facts that I want to keep what I've got. I want to keep being the hero of my story. Well, I got news for you. There are no heroes. Just folks. There are no devils, bad guys. Just folks. That's all we are. You could call up practically whatever you want, depending on what degree you're willing to go and how I'm feeling in that moment. You could call up some pretty hairy stuff. We're just people. And once I understand that, once I understand why I do, I understand why others do. I understand hatred because I've hated. I understand insecurity because I've been insecure. I understand foolishness and trying to protect my foolishness. I understand it because I've been there. I understand blaming others because I've been there. This is the solution to the problem of how we deal with others. If you understand why they are the way they are, you can deal with them better. You can help bring them to a point, and I don't mean by intentionally helping to bring them to a point, but by the way you relate to them, where they can improve. You know, we get all bent out of shape. That's not a good thing. When I say it's not a good thing, it's not a good thing for the person getting bent out of shape. Because look at what it does to you. Look at what it does to your body. Look at what it does to your mind. Look at what it does for resolving the problems on this planet. None. Resolving the problems between two individuals, it does nothing. Why do we continue to want that? You have to one has to come to the point of wanting to solve the problem. And not wanting to solve the problem in my favor, but to solve the problem, period. See, if I solve the problem for one segment of America, I solve the problem for the whole of America. If I solve the problem. But it means coming to a place where you are felt. What this is just a situation. What I am is forever. Who I am is forever. It is changing, yet unchanging. It is Tao. It sees. It feels, but yet is unfeeling. It thinks, but yet is unthinking. It is a place that we come to. This is put in perspective. This. Or whatever. Whatever the problem is put in perspective and solved. So, solve the problem of your anger. Solve the problem of your misery. Be honest with yourself about your crap. I will say this to you, but one must understand it for themselves. There is no excuse. None. Nada. It's as simple as that. You get angry, there is no excuse for that. None. But the individual must accept that, because your process, your end results depends only on you. That means you have to take control. That's what it means. You are in control or out of control. That's on you. It's all on you, not anyone else. It is that simple. Getting up off that floor was on me. Getting up off that floor was on me, not anybody else. Me. The search for how to was what I had to do, and it's what we all have to do in terms of making this a better world. Because as we make ourselves better people, we make our world a better place. I don't have to go through the world proving that I'm smart. If I go through the world proving that I'm smart, it means I really think I'm not so smart. I go through the world being intelligent, because that's what I am. Behind all the personal crap, behind all the emotional insecurities, I'm brilliant. I can solve any problem. All I need to do is solve it.